Hey, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key and we are live for another Carabao Cup semi-final. Second leg, City Newcastle. This one should, on paper, be a little bit more simple and straightforward. However, I think it'll be a lot more entertaining than the one we got last night. Do you not think? I think we're going to see one that's a little bit more entertaining this time. I fancy goals in this one. Goals. What are we saying? What are we saying? Julius, how's it going? On a permo, I think City will edge it, but I hope Newcastle make it exciting. Normal guy, what up? How's it going? Sarah, lovely to see you. How we all doing? 3-star, as always, a pleasure. LD, did you enjoy the United game? I did, yeah, massively enjoyed it. Loved it. It was great. It was fantastic. Right, I'm just making sure we've got everything sorted. I think we're all ready to go. Let's go through the lineups. So we've got tonight Manchester City against Newcastle. Lineups, not maybe. I was expecting a little bit more change, to be honest. But City have gone relatively strong. Newcastle have gone strong. Newcastle are certainly going for it. As strong as they possibly could go anyway. For Newcastle, they've gone Ramsdale in goal, Dan Burn, Botman and Howe at the back. Again, it's probably about as strong as they could go. They've gone with Hall and Trippier, so it's a back five for Newcastle with Tonali and Ramsey in the midfield. Maybe Willock making that a midfield three, so it's like a 5-3-2 with Anthony Gordon and Voltemada playing. Probably Anthony Gordon playing as an auxiliary striker alongside Voltemada, so... yeah, 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 it's looking like for Newcastle. Voltemada and Gordon up front. For City, it's Trafford in goal, Nunes, Kusanov, Ake and Ait-Nouri at the back. That looks vulnerable. That looks like they could get at him. Then it's Reinders, Nico, Gonzalez and O'Reilly in midfield. Nico, what's this experiment with them putting Lewis Skelly getting put in midfield? Nico O'Reilly now getting put in midfield. What is going on with this? The fullbacks... Nico O'Reilly is a quality fullback. He's not a midfielder. Reinders, Nico Gonzalez and O'Reilly in midfield. And then it's Foden, Marmoush, Semenyo front three. Cammy, where's your City shirt? No City shirt tonight. No. I haven't got a City shirt. If I have got a City shirt, it's far too old. And probably... a bit scraggly now. I haven't seen it in some time. I had a City shirt back in the day when there was Eidos as the sponsor. Because Robbie Fowler played for him. That was my hero back then. CJ talks, Liverpool. O'Reilly was a midfielder and striker before he got moved to left back by Pep. I know, but you could say the exact same thing about Andy Carroll was a fullback. Jamie Carragher was a centre forward. Harry Kane was a number 6. Like... They play in the first team where they play in the first team. Nico O'Reilly, where he played in the academy, is absolutely irrelevant. It doesn't make any relevance to his career to date. Lewis Skelly, people keep calling him a centre mid. He's not a centre mid. He's a left back. That's where he's played all of his career so far. Lisha, Nico O'Reilly came through the City academy as a midfielder. So did Lewis Skelly, to be fair. Keep on hating Arsenal, mate. Okay. Okay. Keller was a striker. Keller. Casey Keller. As in the goalkeeper. Ryan Lamb says this one's going to be 3-1 to City. My prediction for this one, I think there's going to be goals in it. I think Newcastle will make a good fist of it tonight, but I still think City go through. I think it's probably going to be 2-1 to Newcastle. Don't know why. I fancy City to try and take the game to him, but Newcastle to maybe pick him off on the counter. It might even be that Newcastle score first. We'll see. Mackenzie, Hall is the best left back in the league by a mile. Is he? He's a good left back, but will Hall start at the World Cup for England? I don't think he will, though. I don't think he will. Good player, but I'm not sure he's... I'm sure he's England's best left back. Bug Bunny Honey. Should Liverpool buy Tonali? No. No. No, we don't need to be buying Tonali. Good player, but again, not for Liverpool. Saka is ruining my club. Why is he ruining your club? MCFC says, you think you win at Anfield versus City? I mean, look, given the way we're both playing, mate, could you really be certain about any result this weekend with Liverpool and City? It'll be an interesting game. Listen, both teams have been in a bit of a mess this season, and that's why Arsenal are going to win the league. But no, I fancy us against anyone at Anfield. Against anyone at Anfield, we've always got a great chance. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if City won, of course, they're a good side, but I think Liverpool will win. I'll back my team to win in the same way that I would expect you to back your team to win. Cammy, he wants City to win. Only club to compete with Arsenal for a title. Well, I know, but that's nothing to do with that. Like, that's nothing to do with Liverpool. Arsenal just haven't competed for a title. Full stop. G. Lawrence says, Key, you ready to do the Goon as a favour on Sunday? Yeah, I think we'll beat City this weekend. I'd say so. Reggie, mostly just lurking tonight, but I'll try to pop in and chat here and there. I'd rather see City in the final than Newcastle, to be honest. No worries, Reggie. Good to see you, mate. And yeah, we'll hopefully catch you in another stream coming up. But yeah, stick around, pop in, say hello when you can. GU Unibertus Guri says Liverpool City has 2-2 all written all over it at the current state. Yeah, goals in that one, I would imagine, as well. Andy Braithwaite says, big up Key, my fave Arsenal hater. How's things? It's really good, mate. How's things with you? I'm not sure I love the classification as your favourite Arsenal hater, but hey, I'll favourite anything I'll take. I appreciate it, man. Tom, Arsenal haven't competed for the title 2 seasons ago. It went down to the last day of the season. Yeah, but again, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You're now making windmills. You're throwing windmills against arguments I haven't made. Again, Arsenal fans desperate to make a City Newcastle stream about them. It's no surprise. Brano says Marmoush, Semenyo, 2 shots on target each. Nice, like it. Tonali's dropped off a lot since Scholes said he was the best in the league. He wants to go back to Italy. Do you think he will? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to make of Tonali. I think he's a very good player. I just don't think he's, like, elite. Very, very good player. Andy says, I'm okay, mate. Hoping for the Man City win. For real, Newcastle always give us a hard game. Well, City always give Arsenal... Surely City, if you're an Arsenal fan, surely you'd prefer Newcastle to win this. Surely you'd prefer Newcastle to win this. I'd be astonished otherwise. Boys, what channel is it on? It's on Sky Sports, mate. I think it might be on ITV as well. Is it on ITV as well? It was the one last night was on ITV, so maybe it is on ITV as well. I don't know if it is. Let's have a look. But it's definitely on Sky Sports 1. If I can get me... no, it's not on ITV. It's not on ITV. It's only on Sky Sports tonight. So if you want to watch it, you've got to watch it on Sky Sports, I'm afraid. Right, there you go. Cecil says, your fame has now spread to Reddit, Key. Incredible. Reddit? I've not seen anything about me on Reddit. But hey, I've not been looking for it, to be fair, so I guess I wouldn't find it. But thank you. Appreciate that, mate. Onopermo, how's it going? New Hussein, Arsenal win the quadruple. Undoubtedly, yeah. Wouldn't it be amazing if they didn't at this point, wouldn't it? Julian Alvarez enthusiast. Hello, Key. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. Flow state or no state. Our Salah replacement has to be Elisa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Salah's got to go. Salah has to go. Andy, the evidence is make Man City run back towards their own goal and they fall apart. United, Leverkusen, Bodo, Brighton, Villa and Spurs did that and Man City fell apart. The thing is, every single team has got a weakness. Every single team's got a flaw defensively. And yeah, City's is running back towards their own goal. You're right. It's the same with Liverpool to some degree. It's playing over the top. Liverpool, many teams... That's what Arne Slot talked about all season, isn't it? Every team has faced fewer long balls than Liverpool. Liverpool, they always play direct and play over the top of the press because our press is very effective, or has been, and they play over the top of it, and we've been exposed brutally lots and lots of times this season. Mad Dunny, who was better, Robbo or Risa? That's not even in question. Risa was a nightmare towards the end of his Liverpool career. Cecil says, how salty was Gary Neville commentating Arsenal last night? I didn't see it, or at least I didn't listen to it anyway. GU says, I see you on the TikTok reaction compilations all the time. Cheers, man. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, great. Joe, easy this tonight. May as well play 1v11. What, you think you're going to batter City? Even a Newcastle fans in loving it. Sam Lowe, you a Wool kid? I am, mate. Yes, I am. Sintelina. Cammy, the same Liverpool had no shots for Arsenal's red wall. Listen how sad you are, mate. Arsenal's red wall. I've never heard such nonsense. Jack says, glory hunter, aren't you? I'm a glory hunter. Well, I wouldn't have said so. The first 6 years I supported Liverpool, we didn't win a sausage. We didn't win anything. So no, I'm certainly not a glory hunter. I was born 20 minutes away from Anfield. So no, can't be a glory hunter. Asdren, where you got that Malaga shirt from, Key? Malaga. Malaga. Jake, are you really being serious, Joe? Cecil, did you see the video of John Terry? I did. Yeah, John Terry watching the game at the very end when Havertz scored and he's got his Chelsea. Oh, my God. Malcolm, Key, lad, stop bullying Arsenal fans, lad. Never leave them alone. Listen, they come in and make the chat about them. We're watching City Newcastle. I'd love to be talking about City Newcastle. They just keep coming. Why do you hate Arsenal so much? What have you got against Arsenal? It's always just they've got this main attraction. It's all them, innit? Dexter, do you hate Arsenal more than you love Liverpool? If that makes you feel better, mate, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I really do. Andy never wanted Arsenal to open up, so Chelsea had a chance. It was all down to Chelsea to make a game of it. Arsenal did the damage in the first leg. Chelsea had to go to Arsenal with something. Do you know what, though? No, I have to disagree. I'll agree a little bit with Gary Neville on that point. There's a few videos going around on socials this morning about, well, Arsenal didn't have to push out. Arsenal didn't have to do anything. That's just an absolute cult. That's the Arteta cult mentality again. That's nonsense. I have never known a big club like Arsenal, like United, City at this present time, Liverpool, anyone who would consider themselves a big club in the modern game, or even historically, whatever way you want to look at it. If you're at home, you have a responsibility to your fans to go and have a go at that team. Now, even if you're 4-0 up and it's the second leg, I would expect you to try and have a go at them. You don't just put 11 men behind the ball. The fact that Arsenal played that way last night and had one shot on target up to the 94th minute is laughable. It's laughable. There's nothing else really to say about it. And I think that's Arsenal fans buying into the cult of Arteta, isn't it? Well, we didn't have to do anything. Yeah, 60,000 of your fans went and paid a fortune to watch that crap. And they admitted it. They said, oh, yeah, it is boring, but we didn't. All that matters is winning. It doesn't. That isn't all that matters. Winning isn't all that matters. It isn't. Football is not just about winning. It's about style. It's about entertainment. If it was just about winning, it's boring. And that's why they're boring. Dexter rattled because Arsenal are winning the quad. Yeah, all right then. Of course you are. Siddiq, you were boring for 20 years. Liverpool have only been boring for one, maybe 18-month window. And it was the end of the Benitez period and the start of the Hodgson period, and that was grim. And not only were we terrible, we were boring. And that's the only time I've ever... And to be honest, that's why Benitez ended up getting forced out. That's why Hodgson was never taken to. It was boring and it was bad. With Liverpool, you have to win, and you have to win well. You always have to entertain. Daddy-O says, I strongly disagree, Key, but that's the beauty of opinions. Tell me why. Tell me why you disagree. I welcome it. Listen, I love it. I love it when we disagree. Tell me why. Norway says, well, now you do and it works. We are winning. Wenger ball. I'd see, we always go back to Wenger ball was beautiful, and we also lost a lot towards the end. Winning is the only thing that matters. It really isn't, mate. It really, really isn't. Winning is never the only thing that matters. So Arsenal is boring because they only cared about winning. I don't mind that. No, and I agree. I've said that too. You won't mind it because you've not won for 20 odd years. If you've not won for decades, then of course you're gonna accept any old gruel you served up, aren't you? You'll just accept whatever. So that's fine. I get it. I'd be exactly the same, and I was exactly the same when Liverpool went 30 years without a title. But thankfully we had Klopp, and our football was amazing around then. It was never bad football under Klopp. Well, it was certainly ineffective at times. It was worse than Arne Slot, albeit bizarrely. Liverpool fans never wanted Klopp out. Creed, how's it going? Good to see you, Creed. Callum says, these last few months have been shite football-wise. Do you know what? There was a little turn-up this weekend. It was all right, you know. It was all right. Ryan James Simister, do you fancy us to beat City Sunday? I do, yes. I do. I think we'll beat City. I certainly fancy it. Andy says, whatever Arsenal win will be built on the defence, same as Mourinho. Key, if it was your team, you'd praise it and say it's up to opponents to break it down. No, I wouldn't, though. I wouldn't. This is my point. Arsenal fans have totally bought into this cult of Arteta. It's this whole... The defence is the most important thing. Defensive, organisation, rigidity. It's nonsense. This is not what football's about, and you know it's not. But you're after winning, and that's fine, and you'll win, and it'll be boring, but you'll celebrate it, and great, and fantastic, and enjoy it. But let's call it for what it is. It's boring. It is mega, mega boring. It is. It just is. It's boring. It is boring. They'll be the most boring champions ever. Ad infinitum. That's it. And everyone's saying it. Arsenal fans themselves are saying it. Let's just call it for what it is. Let's own it. Own it. If you're an Arsenal fan, own it. Yes, we're boring and we're winning and we're going to win the lot. Fine. Fair play to you. You'll win it and you'll have no attackers in the team of the season. For the first time ever, the title winners will never have an attacker in the team of the season. Alex says, so you would rather not win the league and play good football? Yes! Yes! Yes, 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 yes! 1 million times yes! Would I rather watch Arsenal's football and win the league, or finish second and play unbelievable football every single... that's not even a question. That is not even a question. If it's all about that final at the end and lifting the trophy, it's lovely. It is lovely, but don't get me wrong, I enjoy the season more. I enjoy the season more. The 38 games, the 45 games, whatever it is with Europe and the domestics. Oh, give me that every day of the week. I love watching my team play good football. I don't love grinding out results off corners and flicking them in off set pieces. I can't believe that's even a question. Would you rather watch good football or shit football? That's the question. That's it. It doesn't matter whether it's successful or not. Do you want to watch good football or bad football? Good football. Yeah, good football. Good. Always good. Nihas says, I love watching Arsenal play as a Barca fan. But does it remind you of what you definitely don't want to be? Kwanzan says, it's boring, true, but Chelsea were not brave yesterday. That is also very true. Chelsea were very, very poor yesterday. Chelsea were dreadful. Finn, we've had the last 3 years playing free-flowing attacking football. Arsenal have not played free-flowing attacking football under Mikel Arteta at no point. At 0 point. No, you didn't. You never played free-flowing attacking football. You were marginally less rigid than you are now. Welshwing, Key would have hated George Graham days. George Graham is not as negative as Mikel Arteta. George Graham still had very, very creative players that he gave an awful lot of freedom to. But yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal was cultivated in the George Graham era. And fair play. Again, I didn't mind it. Didn't mind it. It's a little bit. It's not to my tastes, but then, to each their own. Finn, if you're saying that, then you just haven't watched us the last 3 seasons. Well, I absolutely have, and I've got all the receipts to prove it. Ollie, is this the guy who said Arsenal's goal against Leeds was a foul? Which one? Which one? Mikel Arteta negative while still in all comps. Well, he is. He is. It's true. Sufi says we played beautiful football in 22-23 Arsenal season, but they still call us bottlers. They'll still find a way to make us look bad, whether Arsenal play shit and win or good, and they'll lose and be criticised. But see, now that's just victim. That is victim mentality. You're better than that, mate. Don't make this about Arsenal and everyone hates us. That's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. You're not victimised. You're not victimised. Your own fans say this. Just own it for what it is. You play boring football, but it's very effective, and you're the best team in the world at it. That's what it is. Let's call it for what it is. You're the best team in the world at it. Right, we're switching off about Arsenal now. We're talking about City and Newcastle for a bit. Air Force Ones, we done that and finished second twice. No, you didn't. Again, well, we tried playing fantastic football and it didn't work. Bollocks. You never played fantastic football under Mikel Arteta. It's totally it goes against everything. It goes against his entire way of being. He doesn't play fantastic football. He doesn't offer freedom to players. He doesn't players don't like playing under Arteta. Total Red Dwarf scored 88 goals, 22-23 and 90 plus in 23-24. What's that meant to prove? What is that meant to prove? Again, you've probably scored. I don't know what the goals tally looks like this season off the top of my head, but you've probably scored the most goals this season, and yet your own fans are still calling you boring. Make it make sense. It's not about the number of goals scored. Again, anyone can use a statistic and springboard off it and say, oh, well, because of that, this is true. It's nonsense. The old adage is true. There are 3 types of lies. Lies, damned lies, and statistics. Anyone using statistics are helpful, but there's a reason why clubs employ not only massive teams of data analysts, because would you believe it's not just about numpties like me and you looking at cherry picking a stat and going, oh, that must be true because of this one's. No, it doesn't work like that. Analysts don't just look at it like that. There's a lot of intersectionality about stats and all that sort of thing, depending on what you're looking to find. And you can use stats to either disprove or confirm whatever opinion you want. Whatever opinion you want. You can look at stats this season and probably find a way to prove that Arsenal cover the most distance and also simultaneously do the least sprints. I reckon there's a way you could prove that through stats. Just if you wanted to. If you were determined to find that outcome, you probably could. But it's the reason why clubs employ analysts and scouts, because the eye test still matters. The eye test still matters. Andy says Man City have to boss the midfield tonight. If they let Newcastle manhandle and expose Rodri, it could be a horror show for Man City. Well, Anthony Gordon and Voltemada as a front two tonight is going to be very interesting. Is it Nathan Ake captaining? Nathan Ake as captain tonight. Interesting. Joe, who is your Liverpool player of the season so far? Szoboszlai, probably. Close second, Florian Wirtz. On a permo, stats are killing the game in many ways. Well, yeah, and you know what? And you saw people crying because they couldn't access FB Ref or whatever. There's people who literally use stats, and it's so disingenuous. They just want to prove whatever point they've already got in their head. So they'll find stats that confirm that and absolutely reject any that seem to, conflict with that. It's nonsense. You can find whatever stats you want to prove whatever outcome you want. Oh, here he is. Here's my number one fan. S-Champ32. Third stream you've been in there, Chief. Complaining. Yet you keep coming back. Keep coming back, love. Keep coming back. K2 says, how are you, Key? Good win for us yesterday. Yeah, great win for you, lads, yesterday, mate. I'm good, mate. Thank you. How are you? More importantly, how are you? Ekatike, surely. No, Ekatiki's done all right. Ekatiki's done okay. But, no, Szoboszlai, I think, has been asked to do a number of different jobs, and I think he's done them all really well. See you later, Joe. Take it easy. Probably back at half-time. Well, hey, let's see. Let's see if you're back at half-time. It depends on the scoreline. Joe, our resident Newcastle fan there. Ekatike over Wirtz, easy. I don't think so. No, Wirtz has been very, very good. Probably been our best player the last 3 months. Gamer Guru, stats that look like a team was dominant all game can turn out to be the complete opposite and they lose 3-0. Gamer Guru, absolutely right. Again, love it. Couldn't agree more, mate. And again, yet another example. Gamer Guru, great to see you back in the live, mate. Another Arsenal fan who came into the live to give me shit and ended up sticking around because we've turned out, I'm not that bad of a bloke, it turns out. It turns out I'm not that much of a bellend. Rube says, I think Man City should be stopped from competing in these competitions until we have the 115 charges. Well, you say that, but they've not been found guilty of anything. They've not been found guilty of anything just yet. Still time. Clarkey, I thought Mark Gay couldn't play in the Carabao Cup after playing for Palace. Well, he's not playing tonight. Yeah, he's not playing tonight. Football guy 73. If Arsenal are so bad, what does that say about everyone else? Arsenal are not bad. Arsenal are the best team in the world. Again, they don't listen. They don't listen, these. They're the best team in the world. Sufi says, crazy how big the streams have grown so fast. Congrats. Cheers, man. Thank you. Coppa Italia predictions for tomorrow. Atalanta Juventus tomorrow night we're doing, yep. Quarter-final of the Coppa Italia. Another live watch-along. Newcastle get us underway here at the Etihad. Come on, City. Come on, City. Nice early goal. Actually, no, we don't want to kill the tie off. Newcastle, let's have a nice early goal for Newcastle. Why not? Sod it. Let's make an event of it. City are still going through, aren't they? City are still going through. 1-1 is my prediction for the City games as I'm a sofa. And Fan Reaction TV, lovely to see you, mate. Who are you rooting for tonight? I'm rooting for a good game, but City to come out on top, because I think City will beat Arsenal in the final. Newcastle won't. But I think I'm just hoping for a good game. 2 or 3-1. Maybe even 3-1 it goes to extra time. We'll see. Here's Marmouche up against Chow. Cuts inside. Strike. And deflected away. Still 60 seconds in. And City on the ball. Pressing Newcastle early on. Rubes, key, wash your mouth out. Come on, City. Why? What's the issue with saying come on, City? Yeah, what's the issue with that? 2-0 City, says Malcolm. And No Way says, I'd much rather play City than Newcastle in the final. Listen, that's coping. That is absolute copium from you lads. Total copium. Lewis, I think it's wild how much Liverpool fans love City. They beat you to the Prem title 3 years in a row. There's respect. There's mutual respect with City. Yeah. I think it's quite clear. Pep Guardiola has admitted he was terrified of Liverpool, and, you know, Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool drove him on to achieve what they achieved. And City were incredible, deserved the titles they won. Obviously, they'll probably get found guilty of something at some point, potentially, allegedly. If they do, then that might change things, but it won't change who won the titles at the end of the day. They were great City sides. They were fabulous City sides. Union, is Key your real name? That's not a real name. No, mate, it's Arson. Arson Thomas. Leroy says, you are just an Arsenal hater. Andy says, off to watch the game. Key, have a good stream, fella. You too, Andy. Take it easy, mate. Thanks for popping in. Game of Guru, it's like a Liverpool fan saying, come on, Everton or United, just shouldn't be a thing. No, it's not, though, is it? It's not. Liverpool fans saying, come on, City, is not the same as saying, come on, Everton or United. Neither of which I would ever say, by the way. City, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is how I grew up with Manchester City. If they beat Man United... Listen, when it was United against City in the derby, I always cheered City on. Always. And there's some great Liverpool players who played for City. Robbie Fowler played for him, my hero. I always enjoyed watching, King Clancy and Gota and some great City sides. I have no problem with City. Kwan says, Key, it's better to beat the best while Pep is at the helm. Arsenal fans should be hoping for a City win. Thing is, it's not. This isn't City at their best, is it? If you beat City, even if you beat City in the final, it's a pale comparison to the City sides of recent years. Tom Lewin, I'd rather play City because I don't want Newcastle injuring all our players. Yeah, I was going to say Anthony Gordon does just kick through everything, doesn't he, to be honest? Key, what's your prediction, says New Hussein. I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be 2-1 Newcastle. 2-1 Newcastle. Well, says Arsene Thomas... and I did not see it, VAR check. I should get a big long coat, shouldn't I? Get a big long coat that I can't do the zip on. Al says, my real name is Alfie because my mum's English, but I grew up in Belgium, so people who've never heard the name think it's a girl name, thus I go by Alf. Alf, you think Alfie's a girl? People think Alfie's a girl name in Belgium. Yeah, that's weird. Alfie's a man's name, short for Alfred, says on a permo. Well, it is over here. Maybe in Belgium it's different customs with names. I have no idea, but evidently I'll go with what Alf is saying there. Gamer Guru, Liverpool fans cheering a team from Manchester is just wrong to me. It's like Arsenal fans cheering for Chelsea. Yeah, but you're both London. You're both London. Liverpool and Manchester. There was a historic rivalry there. Arsenal and Chelsea. It's boroughs in London. It's not the same thing. There's massive overlap with London derbies. Huge overlap. It's not the same with Liverpool and Manchester. King 6 for the great. Hopefully Man City saves football. We can't let Arsenal win anything this season from a Chelsea fan. Listen, they're going to win something. Like I said, if they spend as much as they've spent, and they've spent more than anyone else, if they've spent that much, they're going to win something at some point. So just let them have the moment. Let them have the moment. City are in down the left-hand side. Should be 1-0. Oh, it is. It's 1-0. There you go. It's a fast start, and it's Marmouche. What was that celebration he just did then? Did anyone see that celebration? Phew, that was a questionable one from Marmouche. I tell you what, it's 1-0 and Dan Burn, it looks like it bounces back off him and over Ramsdale. It's scrappy, it's sloppy, but City have started fast. They've done what Arsenal didn't last night. They've taken the game to Newcastle. None of this, we'll invite them on. We'll invite them on. We don't have to attack. We can defend. No. City have gone for it early and they've scored early and they've probably put the tie to bed. There you go, 1-0. 1-0 City. 1-0 City. Get in, says King 6 for the great, and Alf says the name Alfie or Alf just isn't common in Belgium, so people go by sound, and names that end on the IE sound is perceived as girly. K2 says, fuck's sake, Callum Ty done. And Creed says, what did he do for his celebration? Hang on, let me see if I can pause it on the thing that he actually did, because it looked questionable. Oh, okay. No. Yeah. I didn't think it was that. I thought it was something else. So it looked like something he could have got in an awful lot of trouble for in certain parts of the world, but it was a very, very questionable looking celebration to start with. Reese, I can't be arsed. Oh, Arsenal fans cheering on Newcastle, you absolute wrong'uns. Reggie, Newcastle are shit. Do you know what? How's your hate watch going, lads? How's your hate watch going? Is your hate watch not working? Oh, have a bit of that. There you go. Marmouth. Marmouth SS confirms. Welsh Ring says right now that tie's down. How about a quiz? Newcastle are in. Oh, good save from Trafford. Oh, I tell you what, Newcastle very nearly made it 1-1 there. Gamer says never beating the Arsenal hated allegations, especially rooting for City to win. Listen, the allegations, they can make the allegations all he wants. Reggie, I'm not hate watching. I'd rather City in the final. You wouldn't though, would you? Come on. You really wouldn't. That's copium. That is copium. City down the right-hand side with Nunes. Here's Semenyo. City continuing to take the game to Newcastle. It's a great ball over the top. That's going to be a throw into City. Is it going to be... does it go down as a Dan Burn goal or anything? Like, what? The Dan Burn, the camera keeps just pointing to his face like he's... I don't know. Looks like he's... gutted. Like he was guilty. Brian Walamalama says City best team, and Creed says Key, can you replicate the celebration? Listen, I'm not replicating the celebration. You're not going to get me to replicate the celebration. Nice try. Let's just say it was something that Dean Hennessy once got in trouble for. Or it looked like it. At first glance, it literally, the camera panned to him for half a second and I was like, whoa, what is he doing? And it wasn't that. I got it wrong. I apologise. It looked like something else. Producer Matt, who are you supporting on Sunday? Why? What's going on? What games are on Sunday? What games are we talking about? Reggie, I 100% would. I think Newcastle would be more up for it, and they've had better results against us than City have in the last few years. I think City and Arsenal in the final would be interesting because it would be about whether Arsenal can get over their mental block. Arsenal still haven't really beaten City in a big moment in a title race or anything like that, and it's not really even a title race. But they've not this season. They've not done it again. They lost to Liverpool. They've not even lost at Villa Park. They've not beaten a serious rival in any way and like really laid down a marker. If they win the league, it's because they'll have beaten the dross basically and been very effective at doing so. Chance! Oh, nearly 2-0 City. Very nearly 2-0. Brian's Wamalamwa says, the problem is Barnes is a robot player. And Callum says, you're doing Man United Spurs Saturday. Yes, yeah, doing United Spurs Saturday. What else are we doing on Saturday and Sunday? Hang on, I'll tell you. I'll tell you now, hang on. Let's get the old schedule up. So, this weekend, we've got Friday night football. Obviously, tomorrow we're doing the Coppa Italia, Atalanta against Juventus. First chance to watch Kenan Yildiz for a while on this channel. So, we're going to see how Kenan Yildiz does in the Coppa Italia quarter-final. Palladino's Atalanta against Spalletti's Juventus. So, that's going to be a really good game. And then we've got Leeds Nottingham Forest, which is a proper six-pointer on Friday night. Then on Saturday, United Tottenham 12:30, Arsenal Sunderland at 3, Newcastle Brentford 5:30, and then on Sunday we're doing Brighton Crystal Palace, Liverpool Man City, Valencia Real Madrid. So 6 games this weekend. 6 games. Newcastle down the left-hand side. Better. Bit better. They're getting the foot on the ball now. Gamer Guru says, doubted us when we beat Madrid, doubted us when we beat Munich. Never count us out. We can turn up on the big games. It's the small ones that get us. The small. Well, listen, yeah, I'm not sure how true that is when it comes to the big moments, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll put a real top performance in against Manchester City, but something tells me you'll probably do what you've done all season, which is very effective still. It will be, you'll eke out a corner or a set piece, you'll get in front and then hang on to it for dear life and win 1-0. And, yeah, great. Yay. Because football, apparently it doesn't matter to be entertained in football anymore. Can't believe that question was put to me before in the stream. Would you rather watch good football, Key, or bad football? Producer Matt, so who are you supporting in Liverpool versus Manchester City? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, yeah. I'm a Liverpool fan. So, yeah. I'm a sofa, 90 plus 3. Gabriel header to make it 1-0 in the Carabao Cup final. And Jabba says, so Newcastle only need to score 4 goals and win on pens. No, 3. 3 goals. 3 goals takes them level. Can they score 3? They're going to have to really go for it though, aren't they? Have to really go for it. Oxford fan of Liverpool going to beat City on Saturday, Key? Yes, I think we will. I think we'll beat them. We're in a good moment. I think we'll do okay. Yes, Ethan. How's it going, lad? Good to see you. How are you feeling about this one? Your team's 1-0 up currently. Doing well. K2 says, do you think more teams will start to play negative football if Arsenal win the league? I think they already have to a degree. It'll go on for 2 or 3 years, this. I mean, it's already kind of started. But no, I think there'll be a movement against it because it's the same thing that happened all the time. People did this whole press thing, and there was always this, and now it's just inevitable that teams are going long and playing over the press, and then there was the whole... Yeah, the Gegenpress movement. Before that, it was tiki-taka and Pep Guardiola and pass. Let's pass the life out of him. It's just... Football's cyclical. So, Gegenpressing was seen as the answer to tiki-taka. Tiki-taka was seen as the answer to the dull and dreary, monotonous Sam Allardyce football to a degree. Reggie, can they score 3? They won't score 1. I don't think so either. No, I agree. Game's gone, says R. McKenzie. And Raymond says, Patrick Zabby should sign for Newcastle United now. Who's Patrick Zabby? Connor says, I think if Liverpool don't get a result on the weekend, it'll be hard to get into the top 4, not going to lie. Nah, Connor, it's well too soon in the season. There's still 12, 13 games left after this weekend, so you've got like a third of the season to go. It's a long, long way. City in to make it 2-0. Oh, unlucky over the bar. It's a corner, big deflection. City pushing, attacking football from City. They're going for it. They're going for it. Pep is the reason possession-based football became a norm. Yeah, and to some degree, that's kind of ruined football. It did to a spell, didn't it? It certainly encouraged a lot of teams lower down the leagues as well, lower in the football pyramid to try and play out from the back and, you know, possession-based football and all that. They were just never able to do it. City, scrappy, it's in the area. City come away with it. Here's Marmouche. Raymond says, Joe Willock off now. Get Harvey Barnes to come on now for Newcastle. Jimmy Key doesn't have a hairpiece. Semenyo, oh, nearly 2, far post, unlucky. Kind of glad that didn't go in because we'd have had Key doesn't have a hairpiece on the fan reactions channel, I imagine. K2 says, do you think if Sean Dyche took over Arsenal, they would get more or less points? less. Yeah, Sean Dyche is not as good a manager as Mikel Arteta is. I think, if anything, Sean Dyche probably takes more risks than Mikel Arteta. He's obviously working with less talented players at Forest, but he takes more risks. He pushes his players forward sometimes. And they are capable of, taking risks. Like I say, I think Arteta's got a very, very rigid view and minimalist view of risk. Doesn't like it. Will not take any. Jimmy says, can't see how Eddie Howe stays much longer. Every time they're in the Champions League, they drop off so much. There's a lot of Newcastle fans starting to turn on Eddie Howe. I've got to say that it feels like very much divided, a little bit like the Liverpool fan base were/still are with Arne Slot. That it was at one point, it was the online fans who were giving Arne Slot lots of stick and saying, sack him, get him out because it gets clicks and views. And the ones who are proper fans, match-going fans, and maybe have been close to the club for many years, whatever, tended to be more likely to be Arne Slot in. And it's the same with Eddie Howe. Lots of Newcastle fans getting very fed up with the fact that he signed a lot of players this summer, players that he wanted and he pushed for. Ramsey hasn't really done much. Wissa wasn't a great signing, probably wasn't the most methodical signing off the back of it. Jabba says, Dyche would take Arsenal all the way from 1st to 17th. City, far post, cleared away by the keeper, and it's going to be a Newcastle throw-in on the far side. Ilanga's been atrocious as well. Ilanga's not been great, has he? Hypocriet says this guy only yaps about Arteta and Arsenal. The pain must be real. Well, I mean, if someone asks me in the chat, who do you think would do better at Arsenal, Dyche or Arteta? If someone asks that question, it would be rude of me not to respond. Does anyone know where Julian Nagelsmann is now? I mean, not right at this second. But yeah, he's managing the German World Cup team, isn't he, still? Jabba says the Magpies will miss Howe when he's gone. Yeah, I think better the devil you know, isn't it, a little bit with Eddie Howe? I don't know who they'd get in to replace him. I think they seem to think, they're in here, should be 1-1. Oh, Anthony Gordon, have you missed it? Oh, James Trafford with an absolute worldy save. But I tell you what, Anthony Gordon, hang your head in shame. It's a huge chance for Gordon. He's got to score that, and he scuffs it into the ground. It's 1-on-1, and Claire Balding, he puts it right at the keeper. Absolutely dreadful, and it's still 1-0 City. That really should have been 1-1. That should have been 1-1. I'm a sofa. If Arsenal win the quadruple, should Arteta get a statue? He probably will, yeah. If he does, if he was to win the quadruple, he probably would get a statue, and maybe he would justify it. I don't know. Look at the players and people who've got statues at Arsenal. Then yeah, maybe he would get one. Dennis Bergkamp's got a statue in Arsenal, hasn't he? S-Champ Newcastle has oil money, so theoretically they should be able to buy a good manager. They spent less than Arsenal though, haven't they, again? Spent less than you, lads. You couldn't spend all that money and get yourself a Luis Enrique. You had to go and get the assistant manager from City. And give him 1.1 billion to spend as well. Godders, he can have a cartoon on the side of the Emirates Stadium. Oh. Oxford fans, Saka would probably, Starboy. They've turned a bit on Saka, haven't they? I've been quite unnerved by that. It's quite a few Arsenal fans who were telling me they wanted Madueke to start over Saka the other night. I was a bit like, hang on a minute, what happened to Starboy? What's happened to Starboy? Oh, goodness me. Newcastle play it long. into Willock. Voltamada, very, very deep. Lad, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? That's not where you need to be as a centre-forward. Get out your own half. Your team needs 3 goals. Like you're not going to get it by your centre-forward being deeper than your full-back. Get up the pitch. Hugh Maddox, Starboy's off form, mate. Noni deserves a run. That's baffling to me because, like, I mean, according to the way Arsenal fans have spoken about him in recent years, I mean, that's like us literally dropping peak Salah. Madueke, he's done all right, but I wouldn't have said he was 50 million quid's worth. Financial fair play ruined the game. It only furthered the gap between the top and the bottom. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the solution is to it now, though, because it's always been that way to some degree. The top teams have always spent more than the teams down the bottom end. That's always been the case. Like, going back 30-odd years, 40-odd years, like, Liverpool broke transfer records in the 70s and 80s. Jabba says forwards passing backwards. That looks familiar. It's like therapy, that, for Evertonians, isn't it, Jabba? Hugh says, I don't listen to the majority. If the man is off form, he can't start. I'd put it down to burnout. Do you know what? And I would agree with that as well. It's kind of the same issue we're having with Mo Salah. There's no argument for me to keep him in the side anymore. He needs to be chucked out and put anyone in at this point. It's more about a message and standards, isn't it? So, no, I agree. I agree. You probably do need to put Madueke in, but it baffles me that, like, if we were talking about maybe before the start of this season, who are Arsenal's best, most important players, Saka's probably in the top 2 for the vast majority of people. If you were asking Arsenal fans at the start of the season, who are the most important players for your team, for your club this season, Saka probably features in the top 2 in the vast majority of picks. So to see him in a position now where Arsenal fans are actually quite content with dropping him, it's a big step change. Salary cap is a solution. No way they're going to ever accept a salary cap. I think it would help and funnel that money into other areas of the game. Lower down. Maybe some into the women's game as well. Like, get more of that. Get more of that off the ground. Grassroots stuff. Too many clubs lower down the pyramid going out of business, going bust. Gamer says, Madueke has a killer cross. With the right support and direction, he could become great. Look at Salah at Chelsea compared to him at Liverpool. Salah's an anomaly, mate. He's an exception, not the rule. There's no way Madueke becomes anywhere close to what Salah could at Liverpool. He's not that kind of player. And it's very rare you see players be that bad at one club, go to another and be incredibly, like, such a disparity between how they were before and how they are. Salah, De Bruyne, there's a few examples, but not many. There's not like loads and there's far more of the other, isn't there? There's far more of the other type, which is generally you improve a little bit, and he will still improve, Madueke, because he's young, but I think there's a ceiling, and his ceiling isn't Mo Salah. Hugh says, do you think Salah would have become the player he is at another club other than Liverpool? Yes, I do. Yeah. Mo Salah's one of them players who, don't get me wrong, I think you've got to give credit where it's... Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul and a yellow card. Do you know what? That's a real... I hate that. I hate that in football. That's a real shame that Matheus Nunes has just dragged back Lewis Hall, and Lewis Hall was pretty much clean through on goal. He'd have got a shot away. He would have got a shot away. He was nearly at the edge of the box. The defence is converging on him, but Lewis Hall is away. He's away, and he gets dragged back there. That's really... I don't like that. You shouldn't have yellow cards for that. That should be a red card. That's a professional foul. That. I don't like that. I'm not saying it is a red card, by the way. I'm saying it should be. I'm saying in a perfect world, if I could change the rules, I would make really cynical fouls like that, where you're totally not even trying to play the ball. That should just be a red. Get you off the pitch. Get you off the pitch. Or sin bin. Bring in sin bins. Sin bins would be a good idea in football. Orange card. Off the pitch for 10 minutes. Now that would change things, wouldn't it? Imagine you're a Grimsby playing in the cup against United, and United get a man sent off. I mean, you don't need to if you're playing United, do you? They beat them anyway. But if United had a man sent off, and now for like the next 10 minutes, right, we've got an extra man, let's go for it. That would change. That would add a bit of jeopardy to games. Gregory Bush, what's your connection to Malaga? What suggests I've got a connection to Malaga any more than I've got a connection to maybe Juventus? To be fair, I've got other. Look at that. I've got Lazio. I've got PSG. Yeah, there's different ones behind me. I don't know what that one is behind me. The Ajax, I think it is. They're just shirts, mate. Yeah. City. Chance. Semenyo pulled back. Oh, unlucky. Over the bar. Should be. It is. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. It's Marmoush again. And now it is really wrapped up. It's taken all of half an hour. Half an hour, and we've seen 2 goals. We've seen proper attacks from City. We've seen them have a really good go. Even though they're 2-0 up, would you believe? They've had a really good go. They've not sat off. They've gone for it. And there you go. It's 2-0 City. Gamer Guru says sin bins would be VAR's wet dream. They'd scrutinise every single tackle even more than now. I agree with you. I think sin bins would be really useful in football. But it's a good ball list. He's definitely onside. There's no problem there. He's definitely onside. Semenyo pulls it back, and then Trippier, what are you doing at the far post? It's silly, that. Really, really silly. King says, have City got the main team on? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they've not got Haaland on. They've not got Rodri on. They've not got Gay on. So, I guess, ish. Could be 5-0, says Ryan. And Reggie says, get Newcastle off the pitch. Embarrassing. Honor Permo says, the only thing that would make this game exciting, Ryan. And Jabba says, this is a sad noise from the crowd. Empty ad indeed. Yeah, they are frustrating, aren't they, with City's fans. They're so used to seeing Carabao Cup success. I mean, to be fair, is it Big Steve, the City fan? Shout out Big Steve. Steve, the City fan, said, like, my lad's bored of going now. It's like, we're bored of going to Wembley. We go every year. Like, he was like, I grew up watching City, and, you know, whoever it was, they played Gillingham in the playoff final, and, like, it took him. He went to Wembley once in, whatever it was, 20, 25 years of supporting City. And then he's like, my lad's bored of it now. We go every year. Sometimes twice a year. He's fed up. So there's a little bit of that with City. There's almost a little bit of apathy, general apathy with the Carabao Cup. Zach says, why do you moan at the free kick for Man United versus Fulham? Zach, I'd happily talk to you about it, mate, but we're watching City, Newcastle. Any chance we can stay on trend, on topic? Jabba says, all 3 real City fans popping off. And Hypocrite says, Key is the guy who would be celebrating a Saka goal during a World Cup, but enjoying his lesser season. I would not be enjoying a Saka goal at the World Cup. Well, put it this way. At a World Cup that involves England, I enjoy a Saka goal against France as much as I enjoy a Hugo Ekitike goal against England. I enjoy both. I have no affinity to England at all. Semenyo inside. Oh, should be 3. It is 3. It's game over. It's 31 minutes. And City have wiped the floor with Newcastle. This is a proper team. This is a team that plays football. That plays proper football. They're not doing any of this Mickey Mouse sitting back nonsense at home. 60,000 of your own fans paid tickets to watch that guff. You've got a duty, you've got a responsibility to attack. And you served up that gruel last night. City have gone and showed you how a proper team do it, and it's going to be 3-0 City. It's 5-0 on aggregate. City are walking to the Carabao Cup final. They're walking to it. Eddie Howe's just got some instructions here for Walter, just in case they want to change it, you know. They've only got 5 to score in the next hour. Dylan says, Newcastle compared to Chelsea are realising that they are losing, so they take risks and open up. Did Chelsea not do that last night? No. Pretty confident Chelsea did a bit of that as well. On a Burmo guy next to Eddie Howe mouthing fuck. Joe, how's it going, mate? I thought you were only popping back in at half time. You alright, lad? Joe says, hi, Key, mate. How's it going? Oxford fan, bye, Key. See you tomorrow. Take it easy, lad. Eddie Howe will get fired, says Arab Joe. Eddie Howe to get fired. Who replaces him, though? That's the question. That's the question. Who replaces Eddie Howe? If they were going to get him... I mean, Joe, listen, I'm not saying this to wind you up, mate, because I know, Joe, our resident Newcastle fan in the chat, I know you absolutely love Eddie Howe and you don't want to see him gone. And this probably doesn't change things. But there's a little bit of a clamour from certain Newcastle fans. Graham says City have had more shots on target in 20 minutes than Arsenal did the whole game. Probably the whole tie, to be honest. They only had 2 shots on target last night. Probably only 4 or 5 in the first leg, so I bet City have had 6 or 7 already in this game. That's a penalty, ref! Penalty for City! That should have been a penalty, that. Brendan says City are blowing hot and cold, whereas Arsenal showed a greater level of control. An Arteta masterclass. Arsenal will be fresher for other games. Okay, well, maybe that was what it was. Maybe it was them just coasting. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Certainly puts a lot of pressure on them to win it now, though, doesn't it? And again, like I said, that's the huge pressure on Arsenal. They have to win, because if they don't win, playing this badly, like that's the justification that's being used. It's the same justification. Well, we didn't win anything when we were playing really good football, which you weren't playing. But how's that not a pen? How's that not a penalty? That's a clear pen. It's not a red. It's not a red. Like, let's not exaggerate. It's not a red, but it is a penalty. Bailey, how's it going, sir? Jack says, what a final, though. Yeah, it's going to be a final to remember, that one. 0-0 in the 89th minute, anyone? 0 goals from open play. It's probably what we see. Collier Cook says, I'm embarrassed of supporting this club right now. You're only 3-0 down at City. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Could be worse. You could be playing at home in front of your own fans and not trying to win a game. You could be doing that. Newcastle into the box. Anthony Gordon. They're not giving this up. That's a claim for the handball. They're not getting it. They're not getting it. Vos Styler says, what is this Newcastle team? Such disappointment. And Linda, yes, says Key, here for your tears when the mighty Gunners win it. Alright, okay. S-Champ. Hang on a minute, mate. Why are you flying back in? Are we on good terms now again, S-Champ? Because you were zaggy at the start. Are we okay now, mate? Can we get on terms? Are we alright? Can we be mates? Because you weren't nice at the start, and now it feels like we're having a bit of a conversation. I quite like it. You know your footy. I like it. I like the chat. I appreciate what you're saying. S-Champ says, since Glasner seems on the way out of Palace, I wonder if he'd make sense for Newcastle, and a massive budget to his ability to get players above their means would be dangerous. Glasner would be one. Iraola would probably be another one. City are in again. Are they going to get it, though? Oh, good save at the near post. Nearly 4-0. Nearly 4-0. Collier Cook says, did that at home in the first leg. Just let City breeze past us. Oh, I don't know about that. No, you did have a couple of chances in that first leg. Not too many, but you did. I felt like you did have a little bit of a go. It was just that one goal, the City goal, ironically off a set piece, did kind of just throw you. Oh, Ramsdale just got one right in the stones right there. Oh, That's going to be a bellyache in the morning. D says it'll be Jose. Jose? No, Jose's not leaving Benfica for Newcastle. No chance. Dylan says, come on, do you really think Arsenal's players care what people sat on their couch think of how they win? They want to impress their own fans. I was there and was well happy. You was well happy because you saw a win. You would be happy seeing any form of win. Winning is all that matters to Arsenal because you've not seen much winning. I get it. The substance is far more important than the style. This is what we've talked about. I understand you're happy. You would be happy. I would be happy. Anyone would be happy because you've been starved for many years and then someone's thrown you a cracker. It's not a gourmet meal, but it's a cracker, and a cracker will do you. And that's what you've been served up. So you're accepting, you're grateful of it. But what I'm saying to you is, yeah, I do think it matters that football is stylish and entertaining and fans like it and enjoy going. And Arsenal fans don't. You don't do. I'm telling you, the vast majority of you know that it's boring football, but you're accepting it. And that's fine. That's your bag, that's your right. Worthwhile who says, let's see how you lot will be against City on the weekend. We'll beat City at the weekend. We'll beat these easy, no problem. Graham says, football is supposed to be entertaining. It is, yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. Pointless if it's not. Why would you pay? Why would anyone pay whatever it is for a ticket at whatever club you're at nowadays? Christ, lower league football's better value for money. But even if you want to go to, I don't know how much it is for a ticket at Arsenal. But if you're paying, whatever, maybe 60, 70 quid, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 quid a ticket for a game, I mean, that's bad. It's bad. You're not getting value for money for that. Well, listen, again, if the comments, I tell you what, I'll have an amnesty with you, S-Champ. I'll have an amnesty with you. If nobody asks a question related to him, I won't talk about him, and we'll see how long it lasts. Let's have a little amnesty now between me and you. Let's see how long it lasts. I won't even respond. Let's see how long it lasts until someone asks a related question. Because that's what I do. I'll talk with the chat about anything they want to talk about. That's always been the case. I'll do whatever the chat want to talk about. Gamer Guru. Reggie, I found the game properly entertaining. And Bailey says, evening, sir. Good to see Keys. Only 2 super fans back in support again. Back-to-back games. And Welshwing says, how about a quiz, Key? Top 10 highest selling crisps in the UK. Oh, in flavours. Crisp flavours. The top 10 highest selling crisp flavours in the UK in 2025. Let's wait till half-time. Get thinking about your answers. We'll do that. We'll do that at half-time. I've got a quiz at half-time as well. So we'll do that, and we'll do yours at half-time. That'll get us through the 15 minutes. It's half-time in 4 minutes anyway. Ref's not going to add on any injury time here. He's not going to rub salt in the wounds. Clarkey heard Manuel Pellegrini's going to Newcastle. He's done very well at Betis. Strike! Oh, good save from Ramsdale. Straight down the throat there. James Withers, Arna in or out? Arna. Yeah, Arna. Arna in. Foxy, amusing that people couldn't understand why Newcastle fans were complaining about Howe. He's been a farce all season. We've got diametrically opposed Newcastle fans in the chat. We've got Foxy saying get him out. Joe saying he needs to stay. Anthony Gordon's down on the pitch here, injured. Anthony Gordon crying it in. No Way Break says, what is a crisp? Is that like potato chips? Yeah. Potato chips. That's what it is. That's what it is across the pond, I'm guessing. Brendan says the average Joe wouldn't understand. Oh, I see it didn't last very long. I tried. Old says the win is what makes it entertaining. It comes with a reward of 3 points. You don't get 3 points, though. Millionaires playing in your shirt temporarily get 3 points. You sit in the cold with an overpriced pie or hot dog or whatever you have watching that guff. Bailey, you better smash these lot at the weekend. We need another 3-point gap. I know you do. I know you do. You need another 3-point gap so you don't bottle it. Robert says, Key, I'm disgusted. This performance is awful to watch. As a Newcastle fan, yeah, I mean, it's not been brilliant tonight. And Anthony Gordon's... To be fair, listen, let's call it for what it is. Anthony Gordon, if he scores that chance early doors, different game, innit? Different game. If he scores it early doors, it's 1-1. Maybe Newcastle get a bit more confidence. But Anthony Gordon's off. Harvey Barnes is on. That probably doesn't change a whole lot for Newcastle. But I'm sure Eddie Howe will just be saying, listen, we need to go out there and win the second half. James says, Liverpool scraped a lot of narrow wins last season and weren't a great watch. Disagree. Yeah, Liverpool fans were very, very excited with how we played last season. We were phenomenal. Glorious MCFC, don't worry, we'll start Haaland and play the same boring passing and doing nothing. Haaland very rarely does much against us, though. Like, he scored a couple, but, like, I always feel like Haaland's less of a threat than, like, Doku and Marmoush. Like, it's your tenacious strikers. I reckon if you played a front line of Doku, Marmoush and Semenyo, that would worry me more than Haaland, Doku, Foden, or whatever. I don't know. Foden doesn't worry me really either. Watch it be Haaland and Foden who's scoring a 3-0 win now. Foxy says, never said how out if he doesn't qualify for the Europa minimum, which I stay consistent to. But the season has been awful. Criticism to the new owners, and the new director of football equally. Fair enough. And Graham says Newcastle shouldn't be so hard on themselves. City are playing well. They've got to show more, though. They've got to show more. Bug Bunny Honey, hi Key, is this current Arsenal team the best of all time? Yes, easily the best of all time. Easily. Has Voltemada flopped? No, Voltemada's fantastic. Voltemada's a good player. He's done all right. It's just the expectations on him have been far, far too big, given the fact that he's replaced Alexander Isak. It's difficult. Very difficult. Simon says, finally is Arsenal versus City. You're surely rooting for City for no other reason but hate against Arsenal, right? Or do you just hope for a good game? I hope for a good game first and foremost. But if I had to choose, finger in the draw, right? Fingers in the draw, you've got to pick one. It's City. I would prefer City to win over Arsenal because I feel City play more attacking football. They take risks. They take the game to the opposition. As we've seen tonight, they don't just sit on leads. They play much, much better football, by and large. Not every minute of every game in every season, but by and large, if you watched 10 City games at random this season and 10 Arsenal games, you'd be far more entertained with the City ones. Or I would. Maybe football's subjective, maybe you disagree, and that's absolutely your right. But I prefer City's style of play. I would want successful teams to take risks, to take chances, to play attacking football. I don't want teams that are defensive and dull and boring to be rewarded with trophies. It doesn't encourage the rest of the football world, does it? Newcastle ball in, header, good save again from Trafford. It's a corner to Newcastle. Big Will 96 says Arsenal play again, ridiculously low blocks. And Zach Taylor says Haaland's been getting too much criticism these last 2 or 3 weeks. Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. Last 2 or 3 weeks, he probably has been getting too much criticism, but he's still he's still dropped off. He has dropped off. Change. Oh, come on. Penalty. Claim for a penalty here. Are they going to give it? There might be a penalty. I thought there was going to be a change there, but no, it might be a penalty. I thought it might. No, it's just a corner. It's just a corner given. Let's just watch this. Trippier puts the ball in. Nah, you can't get a pen for that. You're not getting a pen for that. Harry Potter says, I'm an Arsenal fan and I think City will beat us in the final. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Billy Fletcher, is Gyökeres a flop? Yeah. I think if you could not sign him again in the summer, if you had the chance to go back and you could have your 70 million back and not sign him, I think every single Arsenal fan would do that. Especially if it meant you could get a different centre forward this summer, which I don't think you will. Cleared away. Theo, is Sesko a flop? No, Sesko's not a flop. Sesko's not a flop. Sesko is the same price as Gyökeres, but he's also 5 years younger, 6 years younger. So expectations are slightly different with Gyökeres. Rajat says, best of all time. Has he forgotten the Invincibles, or does he think it was Liverpool? What do you mean, has he forgotten the Invincibles? The Invincibles aren't the best of all time. You can't be having the Invincibles. They got 12 draws, for the love of God. Cameron says, City have destroyed the legacy of Klopp. It's embarrassing. Not really. Ode says, harder to score goals and play attacking football when teams set up so defensively against you. That's nonsense. It's half-time. That's nonsense. It is objectively nonsense. It's nothing to do with how teams set up against you. That's been happening since the dawn of man in football. Let's not pretend that teams didn't play a low block against United in the 90s, didn't play a low block against the Arsenal Invincibles side. Let's not pretend that didn't happen then. It did then, it does now. It's something you've got to get past. Right, half-time, Welsh wing. Do we want... Well, I'll tell you what, here, I don't know if Welsh wing's still in the chat. I don't know if he's popped off or what. Right, so there are 11 players. It's half-time, so we've got our half-time quiz. Our usual half-time quiz that we do every single game on this channel. We do a live watch-along every single day. We're doing one tomorrow, Atalanta against Juventus in the Coppa Italia quarter-final. Let's go and watch a bit of Keenan Yildiz and some cracking Juventus players. Let's see if they can get through to the semis. Friday, we're going to be live for Leeds, Nottingham Forest, and then Saturday, we're back with the Premier League. 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, live watch-alongs for every single one. And we'll be doing a quiz in each one. But we're doing a quiz tonight here. We've got a couple of quizzes going on. First one, there are 11 players who have scored 3 or more goals in Manchester City v Newcastle games. There are 11 players who have scored 3 or more goals in Manchester City versus Newcastle games. Name them. 11 players, yeah. 11 players who've scored 3 or more. Haaland is not correct. No, Haaland has not scored, believe it or not, 3 goals in Man City v Newcastle games. Shearer is correct. Shearer is third with 6. Aguero is top with 15. Foden is not in the list. Foden's never scored 3. Omar Marmoush is correct. Yeah, Marmoush was 7th in this list with 3, but he's jumped up to 5th with 5 because he scored 2 tonight. So there you go. You've got Marmoush, you've got Shearer, you've got Aguero. Sterling is correct. Yeah, Sterling is 2nd with 7. Yeah, 15. 15. De Bruyne is correct. Kevin De Bruyne got 3. Not Bar... Bernardo Silva, yes, Bernardo Silva is 8th with 3 as well. David Silva is correct. David Silva, yeah, good shout that, Big Will. David Silva is number 4 with 6. So you're missing 1, 2, 3, 4 players. 4 players left. Not Kluivert, no. You've got Bernardo Silva, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, you've got Marmoush, David Silva, Alan Shearer, Raheem Sterling, and Aguero. Not Isak. Tevez is correct. Tevez got 3. Not Cole. No, Andy Cole's a good shout, but no, Andy Cole didn't. Toure. Yaya Toure is correct. Yes. So you've got 2 left to get now. Not Adebayor. Good shout, Will. But not Adebayor. Not Dzeko. Not Anthony Gordon. Not Bruno Guimaraes. You've got Tevez, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Marmoush, Toure, David Silva, Shearer, Sterling and Aguero. We're looking for 2 more players who have scored 3 or more goals in Man City v Newcastle games in Premier League history. Not Gabriel Jesus. Not Gaza. Rooney. Not Wayne Rooney. Not Isak. Not Mahrez. No. I'll give you this, right? They're both Manchester City players. One of them currently isn't playing in the Premier League, but is still playing for a team in the Champions League. And one of them is retired. One is retired. Wright Phillips, there you go. There's the one that was retired. Sean Wright Phillips, 3. And Blurry Face has got the final one, yeah. Ferran Torres, good shout. Not Robbie Fowler. But yeah, it is Ferran Torres. So the 11 players who've scored 3 or more goals in Man City v Newcastle games in the Premier League is Wright Phillips, Tevez, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Marmoush, Toure Torres, David Silva, Alan Shearer, Raheem Sterling with 7, and then Aguero with 15. So there you go. Aguero liked playing against Newcastle. Right, go on, Welsh Wing. Give us your quiz, your crisp quiz. Welsh Wing's got a quiz for us, and it's the top 10? The top 10 crisp flavours sold in the UK in 2025. I like that. We can go for that. Are we ready to play? Can't believe Newcastle had 2 or 3 clear chances there. Willock, Gordon, both missed absolute sitters. Big Will says, good quiz to be fair. Pringles isn't a flavour of crisp. Cheese and onion has to be up there, surely. Cheese and onion. Right, I would go, to be honest, you're just writing down every single crisp flavour you can think of, surely. Salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, ready salted, prawn cocktail. I don't know after that. Prawn cocktail, pickled onion, curry flavoured crisp. No. Roast chicken, maybe. Roast chicken barbecue. Chicken barbecue. Pickled onion is a bit niche. Like, pickled onion is probably my favourite, Chris, to be fair. I don't think there's that many people have them. Ketchup flavour. Prawn cocktail, Monster Munch beef flavour, Worcester sauce, smoky bacon. Dan, I like you, but the hate you have for the Gooners annoys me of such. I don't have hate for the Gooners, mate. I really don't. I know you might think I do, but I really don't. Quavers cheese. Nifty says chutney. Chutney flavoured crisp. Come on, Welsh Wing, give us some answers. Have we got them all? I've only got 7 guesses, and I don't even think they're all in there, to be honest. Pizza flavoured Pringles, says Simon. Yo, says Al's Kush. How's it going, mate? Long time no see. How are you again? I am from Kenya, says Spoiler Franco. Lovely to see you, sir. How are you? Walker's Ready Salted is 4th. Okay, Ready Salted was 4th. Go on, what else have we got? Mustard flavour. Al's Kush, why are people saying food? We are guessing the top 10 crisp flavours sold in the UK last year. This is a quiz brought to us by our very, very own Arsenal fan, Welsh Wing, who comes in the chat, regular as clockwork, great guy, knows his football, knows his quizzes, gives me stick for apparently hating Arsenal, but knows I'm not that bad of a guy in the end. Scampy, Sensations, Cheese and onions 1, ready salted is 4. Right, cheese and onion I could have got on board with 1. What else? Pickled onion, flame grilled steak, top. Dan, are you Scouse, mate? I'm not Scouse, no. I'm what Scousers would call a wool. I'm born in that little geographical area between Liverpool and Manchester. So I was born in St Helens. Well, I wasn't actually. I was born in Wiston, which is a Liverpool postcode. So I was born about 20 minutes away from Liverpool, 20 minutes away from Anfield. Grew up around St Helens, and yeah, a little bit in between St Helens, in between Liverpool and Manchester, but not Scouse. Welsh Wingers left the chat. He's not. Sensations Thai Sweet Chili is 8th. Oh, that's niche. Oh, that's a curveball. Sensations Thai Sweet Chili is 8th in the most sold crisp flavours. Everyone's going to be noting these down. I'll repeat them all back at the end. But this is a proper pub quiz type thing, this. This is definitely one you're going to be giving to your mates or your missus or whatever. Name the top 10 most sold crisp flavours last year, love. Got them for you right here. Al Skush says, no bias, but it's definitely Indian magic masala. Bailey says, what's that new one from Walker's? Hot and spicy. Hot and spicy? Didn't even know there was one. Bacon Frazzles. And on a Permo says, you sound more manky to me, Key. Some people say I sound like I'm from Bolton. And then some people say I sound like I'm from Liverpool. And yeah, you can't really win. That's what St Helens accent basically is. It's a bit all over the place. We're mongrels, basically. Bit of everything. Foxy says, if Sensations is there, I'll go with Chicken in Time as well. It might well be Chicken in Time. Chicken in Time's not a bad shout. Dan, you do sound Scouse though, bro. There's probably slight words. But again, you get that growing up in St Helens. But I am a wool. I'm a wool. Proud to be a wool. Tomato what though? Alskush, I feel such a culture shock listening to these flavours. Welshwing says, McCoy's flame grilled steak is 5th. McCoy's flame grilled steak. What else? Not Chicken in Time. Prawn cocktails defo gotta be in there. I'm not having that. Knick-Knack's nice and spicy. Quavers, Skips. What about gingerbread? Gingerbread flavour crisps? No chance. You can't be having that. Mashup videos. What are you going to do when United win the league? Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit. Jake says, seem like a decent guy to be fair, but I wish you could change your view on every other Prem team. So biased. Why? What do you know of my opinions on other Prem teams, Jake? Come on. Let's have it out. Ollie Riches, who's the best team in England right now? Arsenal. They're the best team in football. Full stop. Full stop. Best team in football. Boring, but the best team in football. Mashup videos, you hate United. Is this new? Are you new to football, mate? I'm a Liverpool fan. Is this like your first season watching football? Bit of a news flash. Liverpool fans don't like United. United fans don't like Liverpool. It's common. It's fairly common, that. It's not a surprise. I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't like United. I'm winding you up. Yeah, that's the usual thing people say when they get proved wrong. Reggie says, Leah Burke, who played for them, proper lovely lass. Not scampy fries. Pringles original. Welsh, wait, I've lost my head here. We've got 4 answers. W2F says, hates us and praising us. Good boy, Key. BM United fan, I'd rather see Liverpool win the league than Arsenal. Their fans are clowns. I mean, listen, I have nothing against Arsenal Football Club or their fans. I just don't like the way they play football. That's it. That's very simple. Super simple. That's it. Boring. Andy says, and there it is. Man City 3-0. Newcastle. Well, listen. I will just say this, because we're kind of veering into... We've got a little quiz at half-time here, which we're halfway through. The most popular crisp flavours sold in the UK last year in 2025. The top 10 most popular crisp flavours. We've so far got cheese and onion was first. Ready salted is fourth. McCoy's flame grilled steak is fifth. And Sensation's Thai sweet chili is eighth. We don't generally tend to do mad quizzes at halftime that aren't totally football related. We generally have a football related quiz every single day. And we watch games of football every single day. If you love football and you like these watch-alongs, then hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. I'm live every day watching games of football with you. If that's your thing, make sure you've liked. If you're not and you're just here to take the mick, you're just here to troll, that's also fine. I really appreciate you being in. No problem. Hopefully we see you in another one soon. Maybe I will convert you to the flock at some point. How out, says NUFC Jaden. Really? That bad? That bad? Andy, sour cream Pringles, Marmite. Oh my God. All the best things, Jab. Welsh Wing, you've got it. Surely, Welsh Wing, you've got to be putting the answers in here now because has he left the chat? Zach Taylor, I've subscribed. Good lad, Zach. Cheers for that, mate. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Hopefully, we'll see you back soon. Not barbecue. Have we done prawn cocktail and pickled onion? We've done Thai sweet chili. Kingy, give me a shout out. All right, mate. If that makes your day, I'll give you a shout out. No probs. W2F, why are you always praying for offside against Arsenal goals? Don't know. It's funny, isn't it? Would you take Trent back? I would. He's the best right back in the world. But I don't think we would, if that makes sense. So, like, if it was my decision, yes, I would. But I don't think we would. I think he ends up at City. I'm almost certain he ends up at Manchester City. Welsh Wing, I've put the answers in. Oh, okay, sorry, let's have a look at the answers. Where's the answers? Pringle, sour cream and onion is second. Pringle, sour cream and onion. Second. Okay. What else was there? Hula hoop salted is sixth. Ready... How boring are we? Bloody hell. Ready salted crisp is fourth and hula hoop salted is sixth. Oh, we are literally the Arsenal of crisp flavours. Right. We're off for the second half here now. Is there going to be more goals? It looks like half the City crowd's gone home. Have they jacked it in at half time? City fans have gone home. They've ballsed it up. They're not interested. Today in Newcastle. Oh, nearly. Very nearly. Wisser nearly making it 3-1. Sean, do you think United get Champions League? No. Kingy, what would be your reaction if Trent joined United? Wouldn't be that surprised. At the end of the day, he's got family ties to Manchester United, hasn't he? So, yeah, he'll go where he thinks best. But no, I don't think United get Champions League. I think it's Liverpool, Villa and Chelsea. I think United finish 6th or 7th. Right, so what else did we have? Hula hoop salted, Pringle, McCoy's, ready salted, salt and vinegar. I don't know what else there was. What else was there? Reggie, is there a fire drill? Right, so I've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 8. What were the other ones? Simon Paranda says, Key, what's your opinion on Amad Diallo having a forehead which is darker than the rest of his skin? I'm not racist, I just find it funny. Why would you find it funny? That's just a weird thing to say. Honor Permo, you're correct. Cadbury's before 2010 was delicious. Kingy says, what family ties? If he's a Scouser, who's the ties to United? His grandmother was the PA to Sir Alex Ferguson. She worked at the club for many, many years. Like, talking like 25, 30 years. So yeah, he has massive family ties to Manchester United. We still don't know the answers, Welsh Wing. I've only got like 4, 5, 6. I've got 6. Victoria Gonzalez, what are your thoughts on Villa's disallowed goal at the weekend? I thought it was out of play. I thought it was the right thing. Yeah, I thought it was out of play. Jimmy just came back while they're getting battered. Yeah, no kidding. Welshwing says first was Walker's cheese and onion. Second was Pringles sour cream. Yeah. Third was Doritos chili heatwave. Oh, chili heatwave. Was third. And then it was sixth. Fifth was McCoy steak. Sixth was hula hoop salted. Seventh was kettle chips lightly salted. You're winding me up here. Kettle chips salted was seventh. Right, that just shows that the UK loves salt. And what was eighth and ninth? Eighth was Walker's Sensations Thai Sweet Chili. Ninth, Monster Munch Pickled Onion. 10th, Doritos Tangy Cheese. Yeah, 9th, Monster Munch. Didn't think we'd be doing this during the live tonight. Monster Munch Pickled Onion is 9th. And then 10th was Doritos Tangy Cheese. Fair enough. Wisser chasing it down. That's alright. Interesting quiz. I'm sort of appalled at the amount of salt going on there, though. WTF says, who have you got winning the final, City or Arsenal? City, yeah. And Reggie says, kettle chips and minging. And on a Permo, Dirty Milk Caramel, and the plain one was some of my fave chocolate as well. Rohale, I'm old enough to remember when we got toys inside crisp packets, and the packets were full with crisps. Do you remember them? Do you remember them White Walker's crisps that had like they had like a little sachet inside, and you used to have to empty the salt in. And then you had the Monster Munch that turned your tongue blue. Shell, did you learn your new player's name yet, Key? I did. Thank you to you, Shell. Thank you very much for that. Jabba says UK loves salt because they never forget how it gave their food flavour when they discovered it. K2, can anyone recommend any TV series? My missus is re-watching Criminal Minds right now. So that's all that's on in our house whenever I get back from doing this. Criminal Minds. Salt and Shake, yeah, that's the one. City back to James Trafford. Cartonia says Kusanov is top. Good defender, Kusanov. He is. He's a very, very good defender. Salt and Shake is council estate. Hey, I'm common as muck. I don't profess to be anything else. Jabba, I'm in the age bracket that binges old TV series. Yeah. I would much rather sit, if I had like a couple of hours free and I had to watch a TV series and I had like Netflix in front of me or whatever, I'd be far more inclined to watch like Red Dwarf or, I don't know, Phoenix Nights. I know that's not on Netflix, but you know, you could watch it on whatever, Daily Motion or whatever people watch that stuff on now. But yeah, Phoenix Nights, The Office, UK. Victoria says, honestly, how far back are VAR going to go to disallow a goal? It's ridiculous. The fact is, though, it was out of play, Victoria. However you want to dress it up, it was out of play, and I think that was right. Aston Villa did not play all that well that game. They were really, really poor. And to lose at home against a team with 10 men, it's not a sign of a team that's really going to be in those Champions League places come the end of the season. I still think Villa drop out of the top 4. Still think you might get top 5. I fancy you get ahead of United, but I think you'll have a bit of a fall off towards the end of the season and prioritise the Europa League a little bit more. Reggie, I love Phoenix Knights. I'm getting the word. Claim for a penalty. You're not getting a pen for that. Welsh Wing says The Office US beats Office UK all day. Not for me. No, I've never watched The Office US apart from the odd clip here and there, and I find it so cringeworthy. It's not. It's like forced fun. It's forced fun. It's not even the same type of thing as The Office. The Office people were like thinking it was a documentary. That could not be a documentary. It's like it's reframed for US audiences so they get it. AJ, what minute is the game in? It's 53:33. BCFC Benji, we watch the Bills still. Curb Your Enthusiasm, great though. I've never watched that either. To be honest, I'm probably more inclined to be putting like like one of Dave Chappelle's Netflix specials on or something like that. I'd maybe watch Dave Chappelle or like a George Carlin or I prefer watching stand up. Rohale says fave show is probably Faulty Towers or Only Fools. Yeah, I could watch Faulty Towers or Only Fools all day. Porridge as well. Mikey98 says there's still 40 minutes of this no contest left. That's insane. Well, that's why we're talking about crisp packet flavours and all this sort of stuff, and generally just having a chat and a chinwag about football in general. This is almost like a little pub Q&A vibe for the next 40 minutes. We'll just enjoy it and have a laugh and see what's going on. Zayn Rahman says, so City v Arsenal in the final. Yep. And what do you make of it? Who do you think wins that one? Sam, good evening, everyone. How you doing, Sam? Our favourite Wolves fan. Sam, our favourite Wolves fan. Jabber, Faulty Towers is a disgrace. Sorry, a masterpiece. I thought I said disgrace then. A masterpiece. Yeah. I also enjoyed Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister. Don't think I've ever watched them. Bottom and the Young Ones, though. Oh, what's going on? That's a penalty, surely, ref. Oh, Johan Wisser's screaming for a penalty. It should be a pen, that, for Newcastle. It really should be a pen. Eddie Howe is raging. That should be a penalty. I'm astonished if that doesn't get given as a pen. Oh, goodness me. Jimmy, the worst stand-up you've ever seen. Oh. The worst stand-up I've ever seen. Here's Marmouche, laid off. Oh, have you missed that? There's still a check going on. There might be a penalty here. Worst stand-up I've ever seen. I've seen quite a few bad ones live, to be honest. But they've usually been, like, relatively small, like, intimate venues, unknown comedians. Not unknown, but, like... I don't like James Acaster and Russell Howard. Russell Howard is just not funny to me. Don't find Russell Howard funny. Don't find Frankie Boyle funny. Pretty much anyone on Mock the Week. I don't find any of them funny. But I do like... I went to watch Bill Burr live. Bill Burr's funny. Zayn Rahman, so what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Zayn. Zach Taylor, worst debut in football history? That's a great question. The worst debut... Surely that's Jonathan Woodgate. You're not going to beat Jonathan Woodgate's debut for Real Madrid. Own goal and sent off. That's got to be the worst debut. Ricky Gervais is brutally overrated. I like Ricky Gervais a lot. I think his later specials have maybe not been as hard-hitting as his earlier ones, but I do. I think he's a genius. I think he's a very, very good comic. Ghost Town and the Invention of Lying are good as well. I can't say I've ever seen either, to be honest. I didn't mind Afterlife. Peep Show and The Office are the best. Never seen Peep Show. Although I really do like David Mitchell and Robert Webb. I like the Mitchell and Webb look. Newcastle playing out from the back. This is where it could get them. Oh, they've been caught out. No, they managed to come away with it. Unlucky. I still can't believe that didn't get given as a penalty, you know. Gamer says, so you don't have a sense of humour. Good to know. For which one? Which one is it that you don't think you have a sense of humour? You talking about Mock the Week? Have I upset you with Mock the Week? Is that what it is? Jimmy says, Ricky stole my friend's joke, by the way. Allegedly, I'll say, in his latest special. I think that probably helps, though, doesn't it? It helps if you're a comedian and your joke gets stolen and you can prove that it gets stolen. That can only be a positive thing. It can only be a positive thing because you can verify that it has been stolen. If you can't verify it, that's maybe a different issue. Bailey says Jimmy Carter's immense live. He's so hard working as well, Jimmy Carter, isn't he? We went and seen Jimmy Carr. I think we've seen Jimmy Carr about 4 times. We went and seen him in like Oldham and stuff, and we saw him getting off the train. He travels all over the country himself. He doesn't, when he goes to really small venues, he's not precious about it. Really funny man, very clever. Brendan says, you have to watch Peep Show, you'd love it. And Jabba says, nothing for me tops that Mitchell and Webb line. Are we the baddies? Yeah, are we the baddies? Jimmy, look up Andy Field. I think Ricky uses joke writers, to be fair, so might not be him. Leon, my family passed away December 30th. Bloody hell, Leon, I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you're okay and you've got someone with you. But yeah, sending you lots of love, mate. City, ball played in, unlucky, cleared away. Newcastle now on the counter. Still, there's maybe still life in the game for Newcastle in terms of we need to win the second half. They've still brought a lot of travelling fans here. Look at that. They've still brought an awful lot of travelling fans. You'd want to go and do something and maybe get them a goal at least. Give them something to cheer. It's a long journey back up on a Wednesday night. They'll only be getting back to Newcastle probably at the early hours of the morning. 2 in the morning at the absolute earliest. Roadworks pending. Rohale says, I've had the IT crowd and MASH box sets and they're still sealed since about 6 years. Newcastle header, they're in the area. City, it's a bit of head tennis. Great strike, miles wide. Gamer Guru says, Mitchell and Webb along with Ricky Gervais is cringe comedy for me. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, Robert Webb and David Mitchell. David Mitchell excels on like panel shows, would I lie to you? But I think he's really funny. Really funny. Martin says, hey, this is Martin from Kenya. My prediction is Newcastle to win. It's a bold prediction. D says Alton scored his first for Rangers. And Jabba says IT crowd was amazing. I've still not seen IT crowd. So that's Richard Ayoade, that one. Still not seen IT crowd. All Black Bucks. And I really like Dylan Moran. Went and seen Dylan Moran live. He's fantastic, by the way. I'm not sure about now, but Dylan Moran... monster. If you've ever seen Dylan Moran, I love that. Dylan Moran monster is incredible. That's one of my favourite stand-ups. Ian, is this game any good? I'm still asleep from yesterday's. No, it's not great, mate, to be honest. Oh, hey, saying that, what a goal! Anthony Elanga. And look at them, they get the ball. There's still only 4 goals left to get. They've got half an hour to do it. Newcastle need 4. We could be on for maybe the greatest comeback of all time. Not just in League Cup history, of all time, if this one comes off. Anthony Elanga, what a run this is as well. This is incredible. This is Bukayo Saka-esque, you'd almost say. Just trying to get the Arsenal fans back on side. Gamer Guru says, David Mitchell is funny and one of my favourites, but I never liked his shows as much. Friday night dinner was class. It's a good finish, that, from Elanga. Jabba, I retract my earlier statement. Good goal. Andy Morgans, this guy never watches Liverpool. I watch Liverpool every game, mate. I've not missed a Liverpool game in decades. I've never on this channel anyway. I've only had the channel 12 months. I've never ever missed a Liverpool game. Ever. Martin, wow, I told you guys, you did, Martin. Kenyon Martin, he called it. Big Patty Star, whereabouts in Liverpool are you from? Warrington. I lived in Warrington for many years, yeah, but Warrington's not in Liverpool, mate. No, I am originally from St Helens. I'm not actually from Liverpool. I was technically born in Liverpool, I suppose. L postcode, but I grew up about 20 minutes away from Anfield. St Helens, yeah, just in between Liverpool and Manchester. It's that little area in between Liverpool and Manchester. Black Bucks, excuse me, I'm probably getting a lot of second-hand smoke from you. Don't worry about it, get me a drink sometime. Rohale says he wouldn't be much of a Liverpool fan if he missed the matches now, would he? It just seems a really convenient slur that a lot of them come in and say. That nice Scouse accent, mate. It's not a Scouse accent. yeah, I could have told you that. That's kind of what I was getting at. Okay. Good one. Good one. Hardy, hardy, har. Worthwhile do. Your Arsenal obsession is off the charts. I didn't know there was a chart. Is it being measured? Shell says his Rangers still 3-0. Apparently it's 2-1 now. Yeah, apparently it's 2-1. I'll have a look. I'll have a look for you, Shell. Jabba, I'm surprised how many British comedies I've watched. So, Rangers... Oh, no, Rangers is 3-0. Kilmarnock have had a man sent off. Hibs 1-1 with Dundee and Livingston are losing. Oh, Livy. Livy getting beat by Falkirk 2-1. Astroxy says City playing the most pleasing on the eye football opposed to Arsenal. That's not me. That isn't me. Just so everyone knows, a one-off final will be a good match. I can't think of the last time City beat Arsenal. Can't think of the last time Arsenal beat City, to be honest, though. Rohale says, I see that support local team comment a lot in other streams, but it's not for others to decide who we support. Yeah, you support who you want. CJJDS look a bit like Peter Kay. I'll take that. I've had Peter Kay, I've had Simon Wilson, I've had Penguin from the Batman. I've had Ruth Davidson, the former Scottish MP. Take Peter Kay, yeah. Big Patty Star, do you think Liverpool get top 4? Yes. Yeah. Liverpool get top 4 with Chelsea and Villa, I think. Top 5. Facts, it'll probably be top 5, won't it, that gets Champions League footy. Jabba says Haaland is warming up to Rory Jennings' dismay. Keith says, talking about Scousers, I'm here. How are you, mate? Good to see you, Keith. How you doing, lad? Good to have a Scouser. Good to have a fellow Scouser. No, I won't say fellow Scouser, but good to have you in, mate. It really is. Astroxy says Arsenal beat City 5-1 last season. I think the year before City won. It's been a lot of draws. And Gamer Guru says if Liverpool closed the train stations, Anfield would be empty. Tony Bellew. Yeah, but then again, you use that. But then Everton's literal own study, their own feasibility study into their own stadium said there are more Liverpool fans in the city. Read the report prepared by Everton Football Club. Newcastle are in. Could they get a second? Must be. It is 2. It's 3-2. It's Harvey Barnes. He's offside. Oh, Harvey. Harvey. What are you doing, lad? You've got to keep yourself on side there. That would have been incredible. There'd have been a real chance. Is it Wisser or is it Harvey? Who's offside? It's Wisser. It's not Harvey Barnes. It's Wisser. Wisser's got to look up the line there. That's so easy. Oh, Johan Wisser. He's had a shocker. I tell you what, if Johan Wisser keeps himself on there and it gets back to 3-2, 3 goals is very viable in the next 25 minutes. That would have been very, very doable. Rodri, Cherky, Haaland about to enter the fray for Manchester City. They're going to go and try and kill the game off. Wouldn't hear of such nonsense at Arsenal, would you? You wouldn't hear of such nonsense. Kill the game off? No, thank you. Graham, how would the Everton fans get to the ground from Towing? And Bleach Demon says City do crumble in the second half. Nick C says Rodri, Haaland, Cherky coming on when they're winning with 4 goals. And Gamer Guru says imagine if City fumble a 4-goal lead. I mean, they did 2 at the weekend, didn't they? 3-1 now with Rangers. J4 CK Jones. Jack Jones 2010. Cardiff Prem Champions 27-28. Not likely. Not likely. Jabber can get to the new stadium by boat now. Oh, City are in here again. Big chance. Oh, nearly 4-1. Reece, do you really need to bring Haaland on at 5-1? I think they're just trying to kill the game off. There's 20 minutes left. I mean, they've got to go for it. They've got to show that they're not... Oh, they're in again here. Newcastle are in again. He should finish it off. Wisser, how have you missed it? How much did you pay for him? It's Elanga. Oh, I tell you what, how much did you pay for him? The pair of them in the middle. They were both there. They were queuing up to tap it in. Elanga and Wisser. They were ready, one of them. And I can't believe you've shanked that wide. Oh, you absolute numbskull. Oh, I tell you what, you've got to put that in. That's so poor from Elanga. That is horrendous. And Newcastle, I'm not even saying, it's not even an exaggeration to say it could be 3-3. It not only could it not be 3-3, it could be, and probably should be 3-3. James to say, how much did you pay for him? Isak comes to mind. Well, hey, Isak, if he's fit, is not a problem. Isak's brilliant when he's fit. He's just broke his leg at the minute. Shell says, on a train, Graham, since I live in Wales, but I'm a Scouser. And Zach says, you never know, Aston Villa could win the league. No, Aston Villa aren't winning the league. Aston Villa aren't winning the league. Abdi Samad says, good challenge. So amazing, City. That was really, I can't believe how bad that was from Elanga. That was unforgivable, you might say. Semenyo coming off for Cherky. Big last 20 minutes here. On a Permo says Colo Torre is always doing the sub boards. Is he still number 2, isn't he, though? I didn't think he was number 2 anymore. I know he's on the coaching staff. Andy, I'm leaving, Key. It was good knowing you, but my time in your streams is up. See ya. Why are you leaving? Don't leave us, mate. We love you. Graham says, Shell. Tony Bellew said, how would LFC fans get to the ground if the train station was shut? I can get a bus to Anfield. And Jabba says, Pep bringing on the second string. And oh yeah, Haaland finally coming in. Be yourself, Dylan. Who to win the final? I think it has to be City. Yeah, must be City. Rohale says Ekatiki messed up a chance to get the hat-trick for us, but scored 2. Oh, they're in again there. Great tackle from Ike Nori. And he's offside anyway, the Newcastle. Elanga again. What is going on with Newcastle? Do you know what? I can't believe they're going to lose this tie 5-1. And yet, I'm sure if you're a Newcastle fan, you're probably watching this thinking, we genuinely would have had a chance in this. We would have had a chance. Zach says, should have never left Man United, Anthony Elanga. He should have stayed. I think United would have rather kept him, definitely. Oh, lucky boy there, Sven Botman. Oh, shot on target, that from City. Rangers now 4-1 up, Shell. Julius Hooper 2-1 Inter. And Shay says he shouldn't have stayed at all. I mean, I think he would have been brilliant for Man United. I think when you look at United's wing areas, oh, great ball in. Chance far post. Good defending from City. They're going to go. There is going to be another goal in this game, I'm telling you. Definitely another goal in this game. No Way Break says fancy City, the same City that showed up and parked the bus against Arsenal in the first game. I mean, that was an anomaly. City don't play that way normally, but they came and showed Arsenal maybe too much respect. They scored early, they scored and they played quite well in the first half, I thought, and then yeah, they did sit back second half. But that's a rarity from Manchester City. They showed Arsenal far too much respect. They had more chances to go and kill that game. Adnan, how's it going? And photography, BDMC. Arsenal do the double or England win the World Cup? England win the World Cup. Yeah. Zach says, Emirates is a dance floor for United. And Shay says, where do you think Newcastle finish in the league? At this moment in time, probably about 9th. Reggie, it was an anomaly when Liverpool parked the bus against us at home as well, I'm sure. We parked the bus against you at Anfield. Are you joking? You parked the bus against us? You must be joking me. We didn't park the bus against you in that game. We had the best chance. Apart from the Szoboszlai free kick, we had the best chance in the game. Oh, City have lost it. Melat. I hope they don't lose against Arsenal. I think City are going to win it. I think City will win this one. The cup, I mean. Obviously, they'll win this tie. The 5-1 up. Rohale says, park the bus or not. It's up to the opposition to score, not the bus's fault. I would be absolutely aghast if Liverpool, in any game, parked the bus against any team. Like, we've had Real Madrid come to Anfield this season where we were bang out of form. We didn't park the bus against them. We went and had a go. I don't know any team that we would play that way against. Reggie says you created what? Oh, don't throw XG at me, Reggie. You're better than that. Don't throw XG around. XG is nonsense, and you know it is. XG is absolute nonsense. You were happy for a 0-0 draw. Great free kick bailed you out. We weren't happy. We'd have probably taken a 0-0. Same as you'd have taken a 0-0. But over the two games, we were much the better side in both of them. Shell says, my bedtime key, night. See you tomorrow. Take it easy, Shell. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow for Atalanta against Juventus in the Coppa Italia. If you fancy joining me for that one. Zach, I almost celebrated if Liverpool won against Arsenal. Goal, Rangers 5-1 now. Junior G, Arsenal's biggest hater. I don't hate Arsenal. Again, you get carried away with this. Carried away. City, cleared away. Should be 4, that one. Nixie, can you explain why you think XG is nonsense? Because the way that it's calculated for me often doesn't tell the story of a game, and we quite frequently see that. There's plenty of games where you will have watched with your eyes and you look at the XG after it and it doesn't explain what you saw. And that happens more often than not, actually. I don't think XG is there's a certain football fan, a certain type of football fan who loves XG, who loves stats and thinks that stats is the be all and end all, and it's just ridiculous to me. So yeah, no, I don't. It's not that I totally ignore XG, but it's only an indicative stat. It's not one thing. Like, I'm not saying ignore stats, just to be absolutely crystal clear. But I also don't use purely stats to build an entire picture of what happened in a game or in a season or with a particular team. And unfortunately, that's what people have resorted to. I literally, on another channel, a very, very reputable channel, earlier tonight, there was a discussion which was laughable. It was the most childish nonsense I've ever seen in my life, talking about stats. Stats. I said stats to prove this. Yeah, well, I said stats to prove that. And none of them wanted to bang their heads together and say, well, you know what? You can probably use stats to prove whatever narrative you want. Whatever narrative you want, you can use stats to prove. But yeah. XG isn't the be-all and end-all, but you don't defy it in the long run. Yeah, I would say so. Name the channel. I'll share it in the Discord. Victor Donkeres. Rohale going toe-to-toe with Liverpool isn't wise. Liverpool can rip teams to shreds if both attack. True. Simon, hello Key, I was timed out on YouTube. Is there any possible way to untime me out? No, Simon, no, there isn't. Because what you said was not very pleasant, and it wasn't very nice. And as a general rule, we don't like that sort of vibe on the channel. So, don't take it personally, mate. Just move on. There's plenty of other channels out there. Wish you the best of luck, but you're not someone we want on the channel. So best of luck to you, mate. You can't be saying stuff like that. On a Permo says, Bruno isn't underrated whatsoever. He's just been a part of a poor United squad his entire career. I think Bruno Fernandes is fantastic, but he's not a player. Also, I don't think he's... He doesn't go in an all-time United 11. I don't think he goes in a current Premier League 11 of the season. He's a very good player for United, but he's not that good. Jake says, Trafford is way too good to be a number 2 as a City fan. Hope he gets regular football in the summer. He'll probably move in the summer. There was talk of him moving to Newcastle before he moved to City, of course. It's whether or not he ends up maybe following him up. Ramsdale's loan isn't going to last forever. They're probably going to need a replacement for Nick Pope. Josh Wardle says, triple captain in Elanga for Saturday. I despise Man City. Reggie, my favourite stat is the league table. Yeah. That's the only one that matters, innit? Let's be honest. On a Permo says, Bruno isn't underrated. Oh, we've done that one. So Nixie goes in every team on the planet at the minute. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get in Liverpool's side. Even as bad as we've been, he doesn't get in Liverpool's side. I just feel like with Bruno Fernandes as well, the way he is as a character and off the ball, and it like... The amount of brilliance that he provides does not balance that out. He's a pain in the arse. He's a whinge bag. And he doesn't produce enough moments of genius. He does produce the odd one, but he doesn't produce enough moments of genius to warrant him behaving like a petulant child on the pitch. S-Champs' stats don't tell a full story, but ignoring stats, so you can say Liverpool were the better side in the game. They have 0 shots on target. It's just the other side of the same coin, in my opinion. But I'm not ignoring stats. Like I said, I'm using stats as an indicator to inform an opinion. but not to confirm. It's confirmation bias. That is what a lot of people use stats for. I'm not suggesting you are, of course. There's plenty you do. Haaland's in, should be. Oh, what a save from Ramsdale. Speaking of Newcastle's keepers, Ramsdale's only on loan. I don't think he's been fantastic since he's been at Newcastle, but I tell you what, that is a world-class save. That's absolutely incredible from Aaron Ramsdale. Unbelievable. Great pass through the middle of the park there from Cherky, and Haaland one-on-one with Ramsdale. He should make it 4-1, 6-1 on the night. But left-footed, what a save that is. Nick C, he easily plays 10 for Liverpool. No, he doesn't do enough off the ball, and he whinges too much. Liverpool wouldn't have him. On a permo, feel kind of bad for Simon, but on the other hand, that first message was way over the line and could have had a negative impact on the stream. Nah, I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. People come in and say all sorts of stuff, and generally we let it slide. But, yeah, there's some stuff that we don't mess with. Anything that's like, anyone having a pop at me, water off a duck's back, you know. But if anyone's coming in and having things that are racist or homophobic or sexist or, you know, any of the isms or phobias, whatever, that's not going to fly. We'll just move you on. It's no big deal. The problem is, he's now reacted in such a way that he now goes and creates multiple accounts across multiple platforms to try and get back in. It's just not worth it. Like, we're not the only fan channel, the only football watch-along channel out there. I'm sure he can go and find another one. Zach says, what's the biggest upgrade in history? Carry us to Alisson. In Liverpool terms, anyway. Carry us to Alisson, for sure. Harry says, hey, Key, sorry, went out to get milk and was helping my dad move the dryer because we're buying a new one. I'd be interested to see what happens when City play you on Sunday. They look vulnerable. I think Liverpool beat City. I think we're the better side. And I don't think City are in a title race. Like I said, I think Arsenal win it at a canter because you've not got any rivals. Your own rival is your biggest rival is yourself. That's the only thing. I don't expect City to beat us. Maybe a draw, but I don't expect City to beat us at the weekend. No way breaks is good for you, Key. Stand your ground. You've got to do it. And it's not even for me. Like I said, you can say what people can say what they like for me, but yeah, you can't be doing that. Or people can say what they like about me, rather. People can say what they like about me, but you can't be saying stuff like that. Dermy Dude says, what Arsenal player would you like to sign for Liverpool if you could? Rice. Yeah, Rice. It would be Rice. I'd sell McAllister for a bag of chips and get Declan Rice in. Liam, there you go. The most popular question that gets asked about 46 times alive. Why do you hate Arsenal so much, mate? And I'll answer it again, Liam. I don't hate Arsenal. I pay you a compliment every stream, but people look past it. You've based it, I'm sure, on a fan reaction channel that you've watched a couple of clips of, rather than the whole thing. Haaland, great strike, great save again from Ramsdale. Yeah, Arsenal are the best team in football. You're the absolute best team around. No, I don't hate Arsenal at all. Bailey says, why do you think City won't win the Premier League but will beat Arsenal in this final? Because I think City playing like this are a real threat to Arsenal playing like they did last night, which is, I think, the kind of thing that we'll see. City will be... They'll give up chances, of course they will, but I think if City decide to attack Arsenal, they'll score. And if they score early, I think they'll win. If Arsenal score early, then obviously it's a different kettle of fish and City might struggle, but I fundamentally believe that City are a better footballing side than Arsenal. And that is why I think... that's not why I think. That is why I want them to win the Premier League. But they won't win the Premier League because they're so fundamentally flawed at the back and ridden with injuries as well. That's probably something else to say. The fact that they've got basically their entire defence injured or cup-tied, as Gay is tonight. Bailey, come on, we all know you have a soft spot for Gyökeres. And Zach says, McAllister's shit this season. He was brilliant last season. He's played like a pub player all season. Apparently Real Madrid are interested in him in the summer. 869530. Never seen a person watch more games of other teams than their own. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't. I don't think you will find anyone else who watches more games of other teams than their own. I absolutely agree with you. I watch 12 games a week live on the channel, and usually only 1 or 2 of them are Liverpool games because that's all Liverpool play in a week. Usually once in a weekend and then maybe once in Europe. So, but even when Liverpool aren't playing in Europe, I still watch 12 games. So yeah, I watch more games that aren't Liverpool than pretty much anyone else. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fair comment. Harry says, I was thinking on Sunday that Bruno is 31 and was throwing his arms about like a spoiled child. Side note, Key doesn't hate anyone. He's very willing to agree to disagree, which is a really good quality. I'm also, I'd like to think, willing to accept that I'm wrong quite frequently. Maybe you guys will disagree. We're all infallible, aren't we? We all make mistakes. But I don't think I have an ego when it comes to football. I am quite frequently wrong. Same as all of us. You know, we all make mistakes. We all get things wrong. It's all fine to get things wrong here. Newcastle chance. Good save. CJ says, Key, my prediction is Liverpool beat City 3-2. What's yours? I think 2-0. I think Liverpool 2-0. I think it'd be relatively cagey, actually. But Liverpool pinch one early doors, and then maybe City come at us, we drop back, City come at us, and then we hit them late on the counter-attack. A bit like we did with Everton. A little bit like that. And I mean the Everton, not Everton this year, Everton last year. The one where Alisson knocks it long to Darwin Núñez and he pulls it across to Salah in the middle. Alfie, we've done that one, sorry. Jabba says Key is only slightly more wrong about football than me. Rohill says, I'm a mod on a TikTok stream. I let most things slide. I hate muting, but I don't stand for racism. And I let everything fly. And to be honest, I say to the mods as well, just let it fly. They come in, they say that if they're a troll and they come in and they say something nasty, just let them say the little piece. Because all that happens is, if you delete the comment, they get it in their head. They plant a seed that they're trying to censor me, free speech, and then they come back even more and more and more and create other accounts. It's just better, just let them say the thing, let them have the little 5 minutes. We breeze past it, and then we all move on. And they leave. Most of the time they leave. Or they stick around, and they actually turn out to be quite decent, nice, kind-hearted people. I was looking back, I don't know if he's in the chat tonight, Gary Donington. Gary Donington is a regular on this channel now. Good lad, likeable fella. I got a comment this morning on a stream which was about 4 months ago. And I don't know why this person commented on it because it was literally ages ago. I think, you know what it was? I think it was the Newcastle Arsenal game at St James's Park when Gabriel scored in the last minute. Someone commented on that, I think it was. Was it that one? No, it wasn't. It was a short, but it might... I can't remember anyway. That's irrelevant, whichever one it was. But Gary had commented on it as a troll, and he'd said something quite nasty. And I saw it, and I was like, he's in the lives like every other week now. It's great. It's brilliant. BXB says City fans so embarrassing. Stadium so empty from minute one. And Simpa Priva says another quiz, mate. We've done 2 today. We've already done the top 10 crisp flavours sold in the UK last year. So we've done it, and we've done the top 11 players who've scored 3 or more goals in Man City v Newcastle games. Right. Thank you, everyone. It's full time, by the way. It's full time. It's Man City 3. It's Newcastle 1. It's 5-1 on aggregate. I wish I could say it's not been a good game. It has been a really good game. It's been entertaining. We've seen 4 goals. Probably should have seen a penalty for Newcastle. Newcastle have missed maybe 3 or 4 one-on-ones. On a different night, they finished those chances. And actually, they could have made a really good fist of this. There was a real opportunity for Newcastle tonight. Harry says, I think whoever scores first on Sunday afternoon wins because neither City or Liverpool defend well. That's, very, very astute assessment. I'd probably agree with that too. Right. Okay, City squeaked by. 3-star says, night everyone, see it all tomorrow. Yes, back tomorrow for Atalanta against Juventus in the Coppa Italia quarter-final. I'm going to keep saying it as Keenan Yildiz. Keenan Yildiz is literally targeted by every single Premier League side. We're doing a watch-along of Juventus. If you love football, if you love Serie A football, the best game on tomorrow night. There's not really much football on a Thursday night, but we're live, as you know, every night watching games of football with you. If you like football, if you love football, whoever's playing, if you love watching football and just having a laugh and a chat and a bit of a quiz, we'll be live tomorrow again. The Premier League Dad community and me, your Arsenal hater host. I'll see you all tomorrow night. If you haven't yet and you enjoyed this stream, make sure you've clicked the like button. Make sure you've hit that before you leave and subscribe. Lots of love. Take it easy. Have a lovely Wednesday night. See you tomorrow. Ta-ra.